So the next printer on the list of our various printers is this one. This one is called Gladstone Hanno Honey, because it was really a stroke of luck that we got the money to buy this one. This machine with its associated washer unit and the curing unit costs about 6,600 euros, and that's why I would be very happy if you paid attention to this video and learned the safe handling of this machine, because replacing it is going to be very hard for the lab. So the reason this box is orange like this is because the resin that we use here in the printer is cured by ultraviolet light. And as you know, there is ultraviolet light everywhere, and that's why this has to be covered so that it doesn't allow any ultraviolet light to actually go into the resin pool. The actual parts of this device are the tank of resin, which is here. This is something you do not need to operate, except that it has a small lid. You have to open the lid because that is the vent that allows air into the container here. So when you start to operate this, you open it, it says click, and that is when it's open. Inside here we have the print table and we have the pool of resin. Never touch the resin as such. It is not good for your skin. And right underneath that pool of resin we have a very, very thin mesh through which the lasers actually shoot your object into the table, so that it works so that there's an ultraviolet laser down here which operates on its own, moves around in the box in here, and it shines an ultraviolet light into the mesh under the resin, and that's where your print is going to happen. So this print table is going to enter the resin into the liquid, and when it comes up in here you will see that your print is sticking here in the table. I'll show you how it looks. Your print would be stuck into the table like so, and it has to go into the washing unit before you can do anything else with it. So, a word of caution about the table. It only has two places where it can be. The first place is here, securely attached to the print arm. The other place where this device can be is inside the washer unit. So when your print is done, you take the print table as such, open it up, there's a latch in here, you open the latch, you grab hold of this table with your hand, like so. And now you do not let go of this table. It is dripping resin all over the place, so you need to place some paper in here, and then you take a tool like this, with which you scrape any of the extra resin back into the pool. Because if there is any extra resin here, along with the object, there's resin here, and you put that into the wash, all it's going to do is to make the wash go bad faster. But when you have scraped the extra resin back into the pool with the same position of your hand, you place it here like so. And now you can let go, because this is where it's going to be fully safe to be placed. You go down into the user interface and you say start. 30 minutes is a nice time for the wash. Your print is going to be submerged in the liquid. The liquid is a biodegradable washer fluid that will be able to take about 100 prints, and then it has to be replaced. So this would be now inside the washer unit, being washed of any extra resin. Again, if I end this wash now, when the table comes up, it will be wet. So again, let any of the extra fluid leak off back into the pool, like so, and do not let go of this table. It is rather heavy actually, because the next thing you will do is, with some paper on the table again, you will take this tool and get the print off the table. Then you can leave that on the paper for a while, take the table back to the printer, insert it into its place, and close the latch and close the door. And now your print would be wet, but it would be purified of any extra resin. So the next thing you have to do is to use this one. You open the door, you place your print somewhere here, and you turn the machine on by saying start. It will say preheating to 60 degrees, and when it reaches 60 degrees, it will turn on ultraviolet lamps, and that will finalize your print. So whatever your print is going to be, it has to be taken through all of these 3 phases before it's done. But when this is done, it will tell you end cure, the cure is ended. Then you can pick up your piece and you have a wonderful 3D resin print from which you can then take off all the supports. Be very careful when you remove the supports, because they get like they are ejected from this piece like shrapnel. They are very sharp. So be careful not to get any of these in your eyes when you twist them off, but they will twist off like this. So this is how you do the actual operation of these 3 machines, and I will now show you how to use the Preform software on your machine. So when you start the Preform up, it will tell you about your job setup. It will tell you that you have a Adroit Porpoise, which is our printer. It has a cartridge of gray B4 resin. It has a lot of it still, and you can set the layer thickness to 160 microns, because that is the fastest to print. When you click on apply, it will give you this area here. There's also an update I need to get. I will do that later. So I will go File, Open Recent, find something that I could print. Let's try this one. It isn't there. Let's try a newer one. Even that doesn't exist, so I'll just go and open something from here. Medical box. Let's try this one. Prepare. It was not properly done, so I can scale the object as much as I like. I'll just scale it to 10, and then I will turn it, or I will just use the make it bigger, 20, and I will use the automatic setup. So I go to the one that says supports, turn on no raft, because I don't need the raft, it will stick anyway. Close this one, go to the magic wand, click on this and set up your print. It will then generate the supports as necessary. And as you can see, it works nice. It will tell you here about the printability. It is printability, it is printable. So I could now go and say print. What this will do is that it will send this print to the printer. So if I click on here and tell it to print now, it will say incompatible preform firmware. Nice. So I will just dismiss this and go back in here, because this is where it would appear. Right here. It is ready, and if I had a print job that I could do, it would appear here, and I would just click on print, and that would be it. The print table will go down into the resin, it will start the job, and then when the job is done, you open the door, put some paper here in this area, grab the table with a firm hand, scrape the extra resin into the pool, and then place this into the washer unit. And that is basically how you operate these resin printer machines.